Welcome to Hack Shack Studios. That was a little bit of a delay. The little live signal took a while to come on. Welcome to Hack Shack Studios. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not very prepared here. Let me see if I can move that down a little bit. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Welcome to Hack Shack Studios. RT Bear here, and we are live, and we are live, and we are live. So I thought I'd talk about old dirt. Some people think I'm as old as dirt, but I'm not. And so hold on for a sec. Wow, I am not prepared. So yeah, I go on these shows. I go, 35-year comic book veteran, right? 35 years, and I think no, I've been doing comics longer than that. So I thought what would be fun is to kind of go over some of the early years and try to figure out exactly how long I've been doing comic books, because I am old and I forget. It's been a long time. So let me say hi to everybody, and feel free. This is just going to be a hangout chat, you guys. So feel free to ask questions and just hang out. So yeah, boy. All right. So a Time Lord is never later nor early. He arrives exactly when the TARDIS means to. Hell, everyone. That would be me. Yeah, you always show up late, man. You got to build the expectation. Wait, art is on Cal time. Might be too early for even a Time Lord. That's good. Hey, Pedro, what's up? I'll wait while I work. Yeah, I've been I got up early this morning and started work. It actually felt good. I worked late and then I got up early. It doesn't always happen, but sometimes it feels good to get up early and start work. Did you mean older than dirt, T-Bear? What did I say? Did I say dirt? What did I say in the description? I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't prepared. Now you got me doubting myself. Let me see. Let me see if I said dirt. What did I say? Did I say... Yeah, I said older than dirt. Why do I doubt myself? Why do you guys make me doubt myself? Yeah, older than dirt. You guys say like I was the original comic artist. I started with cave paintings, and you guys make all those old people jokes that hurt my feelings. They don't hurt my feelings. I think they're funny. Hell Art, what's up, Andrew? How you doing? I borrow ideas. What's up? What's up? Hello. Hey, Kevin, what's up? Hey. We come to snuff the rooster. Oh, yeah. Linkovich, what's up? We have Norn Rad 2 Turbo. Hey there, Art. What's up, man? What is that? Hang Loose? Is that the Hang Loose? Gus Tyler Bush, what's up? What's up? Zup, Art. Yeah, but Zup. All right. How you doing? How you doing, Zero? We have Paul, Hell, T-Bear, Todd's Truth. Man, I've been seeing you pop up all over the place, Todd. You get around, just like the Beach Boys song. I get around, get around, round. It's 8 p.m. in the UK. Yikes. I did some weeding in the backyard this morning. Oh, I'm taking back my yard too. The weather's been gorgeous here in Southern California. Usually it's hotter than hot, and it's almost like fall weather here. It's really nice, and I like it because I don't have to run the air. I don't mind the air conditioning. It just makes a lot of noise. I just don't like the noise. The noise. Wolverine, you put older than dirt. Yeah, older than dirt. What's wrong with that? That's right? Is that? Oh, then. Oh, okay. Then. Okay. Sorry. That's funny. Can I edit it from here? No, I can't. Older than. Okay, instead of then. Got it. All right, got it. We're in publishing here, T-Bear. Oh, cool. I'm 47. Well, I am 58. I am 58. Lady Celtic Moon, howdy all. How are you? Hey, man. Hey, Blue Samurai. Now that I know you, it helps. I did a stream with Blue Samurai, a couple of them actually. I think it was Michael Bancroft, and I like Blue. He's a smart dude. I bet he knows the difference between then and than. All right. Yo, yo, yo. Hello, Art. Hello, Captain Clockwork. I like the name. I like your name. I'm 48 and I feel it. I'm in Northern California. I don't know what Southern California, the weather's been pretty amazing. So I don't know what it's like in Northern right now. I think it's always a little cooler than Southern California. Aw, dang. You popped on just as I was logging off. Got to run errands. Take care, big guy. Thanks for hanging out, man. I do appreciate it. Roland's back. I walked 4 miles to and from Target this morning. We got people here at the Norco Target, and they're peacefully protesting, but I think they're hoping it'll get out of control so they can loot that place. I know that's mean to say, but why do they always have these rallies like in front of stores? Like it feels awful convenient. Like, ooh, this rally got out of control. I'm gonna pick up some socks and some a TV set while I'm here. I'm sorry, you guys. Sometimes it feels that way. To be honest, I don't know if this is a good cause. It doesn't feel like a good cause to me personally, but I do like that people are rallying and they're expressing themselves and putting pressure on their political, representatives to make change. I just feel like they're kind of going about it the wrong way. Okay, Kevin says, I can never catch pontificators live, but I always watch the catch up later. Well, you can't watch it from last week because we were so good at what we did. YouTube got jealous and they pulled us. They pulled us down. We were having too damn much fun, and they said, none of that. I'm going to smite you. We got smited by the YouTube gods. Todd's Truth, I only hang out in the best streams. Damn right. Damn right. Sheldon Martin, how you doing, brother? Wolverine should be your new editor. Yeah, I am really, really dyslexic, you guys. So I'm really surprised I'm able to do as good as I do sometimes. Spirits Car, you got to take Narwhal under your wing and teach him some game. Well, I would start with the helmet. Yeah, let's get rid of the helmet, Narwhal. If you guys saw EVS's live stream last night, Narwhal was in rare form and was very interesting and fun to watch. That was a great stream, you guys. Go check out EVS's stream from last night. There were like 10 of us on the stream. It felt like old Comicsgate, just where we were all hanging out. There was a lot of fresh people. We have Shane Davis, his buddy, and he's coming in to the Comicsgate fold. I'm not sure if he's going to be publishing or just hanging out with us, but it was fun last night. And he does some of those Facebook Live shows, and I went in, I harassed him from time to time, and he was talking about commissions and doing kind of more risque commissions, possibly some TNA commissions. And I said, I'd like to hire you. I'd like to hire you because I want a Granny Goodness nude commission from you. I thought it was pretty funny. It didn't even faze him, man. He just went right into it. I think he thought I was being serious, but I was not. I would never, ever put anybody through that. That would be misery. Misery loves company. Yes. It's been in the mid 90s. Oh, yeah. See, that's good, man. That's a good temperature. That's not bad. but I have compulsive editing disorder. That's fine. My wife's the same way, which is good because I can't spell, but she's amazing at it. So usually, if it's really important, I'll have her edit it. Like if I have to, talk some business and stuff like that, and it's important, I'll have her look over my email. If not, I'll just fling it out there. Rats surrounding a picnic. Yeah. Missed that one. Yeah, you got to check it out. It was a good stream. God's Narwhal's short bus helmet. Yeah, he also showed his gut. He showed his big fat belly. But I was kind of thankful because his camera was blurred, so I didn't get to see all the gory details of his harpoon scarred gut. I shouldn't talk. I got a little bit of a gut. Actually, I'm in pretty good shape for my age. It's just kind of all in the midsection. Everything else is pretty good. So I don't have too much of this. I don't have too much on my arms, my legs. It's just a little bit of gut. And I think if I could do sit-ups, if I could work out a little bit, I think I would be fine. But I also have like a back problem. I have scoliosis. So I was doing like these leg lifts and different things, and it was helping out tightening my midsection. But I actually gave myself a hernia. So I can't do anything, man. I can't take care of myself. No. I'm pretty good. I'm in pretty good shape. Narwhal, horrible ladies man, promising serial killer. Yeah, he does have promise there. I think he's living with an older lady now. I think she's paying him to take care of her. So that's what we're calling it these days. Paying to take care of somebody. We used to call it love. There is a clip from G. Edward Griffin back in '69 talking about the communist inflation and infiltration. I'm sorry, an agenda to sow division by race. Yeah, it's happening. They saw this as the greatest weak point in America, ripe to exploit. It's happening, man. It's so funny because my wife and I are definitely, we're older and, so we pay our taxes and, we're responsible human beings. And so every time we turn around, California is giving us a new tax. So just last night she's reading, oh, your gas tax is going to go up. It usually goes up anyway. But now they're putting it on the book. So it's not like we're just going to raise the taxes. Now they're making it legal, like every quarter or every year, I think it is, that they can raise our gas tax. So supposedly our gas is about the same price as the rest of the nation. But what California does is they just add a bunch of state tax to it. Which makes it very, very expensive. And so they're raising that. I think our property tax just went up. And so we also, if we use too much water, we get fined, we get penalized for that. I don't use too much water. I use just enough water to take care of everything. So I usually get fined. So California is going to hell, as my mom said, in a handbasket. And I guess a handbasket, I finally found out it was a couple of years ago, but she used to say this stuff all the time. I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? And I believe it's French, like when they would at the guillotine. And so they would have a hand basket. And so the head would drop in the hand basket. And so they would say going to hell in a hand basket. I guess that's referring to the head dropping in the basket. So very interesting. People are pretty macabre. Like some of these sayings that these isms have some pretty dark, like ring around the rosy and stuff like that. There's some pretty dark meanings behind it. Hey, Victor Thomas. Hello, Pablo Romero. What's up? Nude Granny Goodness. That was done on about Schmidt. I don't know what that is. Is that somebody? Somebody did a live stream and they drew up nude Granny Goodness. How dare they? Let that older lady have her dignity, for goodness sake. Paul says, is Chrono Mechanics at the printers yet? Oh. I'm glad you asked. Look what I got for you, Paul. Look what I have. This is what they call a printer's proof. I had to pay a bunch of money for this, and they effed it up. So you can see right here, it's cropped really close. So really the only problem is the cropping on this stuff. The colors on the cover are a little bit off. You can't really tell by the camera. I do like the finish. It's a little bit of a matte finish, and it doesn't show fingerprints, and it feels kind of cool. So I like this finish a lot. So this is a proof of the book. So this is the book itself. It's done. They sent this to us last week, so we've been trying to work out the problems with them. They say we're going to have our second proof this Monday. So they ran a second proof because we told them we didn't trust them. So we said, you need to run a second proof, and you need to prove to us that you're worthy. You're worthy of our backers, our Indiegogo backers. All you guys, we said it. You're worthy. You must be worthy. So what they're doing is they're going to do the proof and send it out. Pamela told me this morning that we should have it by Monday. And I'll show that off, and hopefully it will be good. You can kind of see this balloon right here, and it's cropped like right on the border. So I'm not sure what they did, but everything's kind of misregistered. You can see it really, really good here, up here. So you can kind of see, I did go over, I initially thought the colors were a little off on the interiors, but the colors are really good. They did say that this was a digital printing, and we are going to have offset. So they said the color will be better with the offset. So some of the color differences could be, in the printing process itself. So, it's the ongoing thing. There's always something to work with, some new potential issue that comes up. So Pamela and I are trying to keep our cool with it, and trying to work with all our vendors and be as polite and understanding as we can. But the thing is, sometimes when you're working with many vendors and they all come at you with like some minor problem, it then just feels like it's out of control. So I think it was this morning was good, but maybe it was last night or early yesterday that we had a little bit of like, what the heck? We're giving you good money. Just do your job. Just make it good. Because I don't know, to be honest, this should never have happened. Just to be professional, they should have looked at this before they shipped it and said it's wrong, and they should have just self-edited and put it straight and then sent us a good copy. So that is on them. I don't know what they were expecting. Like if we would have signed off on that, all the books, or if we didn't get the proof, if we didn't pay more money for the proof, because they weren't going to send us proofs, all the books would have been done that way. Art is healthier than Kodiak. Confirmed. Well, I don't know. I mean, you could be very healthy. I have no idea. Strengthen your core will fix both your gut and your back. But the thing is, it sounds easier than it is. Because I have scoliosis, my frame is frozen. Like my whole spine is what do they call it? Where they link it all together. They kind of scrape the bone and then they sprinkle bone. And so my whole spine is just like one. It doesn't bend. And so I have two steel rods, or like some kind of metal rods in my back. And so I only bend in like certain places. So if I'm not really, really careful, I can hurt myself real bad, like really, really bad. So I wish I could strengthen up my core a little bit more. Like I said, I was doing that, but I gave myself a hernia, and the hernia is because of, God, I'm going into all this detail, is I have a corkscrew curve. So it's not like some scoliosis, just an S curve. So you just kind of get bent over, but mine goes inwards. It goes this way too, but it comes inwards. So what it happens is if I put too much pressure, my organs get pulled out. Most people have in their rib cage, they have from their thumb to their pinky. I'm like this, like my whole chest cavity is like this. So I can hurt myself really bad if I'm not real careful. So if I could, I would, because I know, because I also have a crazy metabolism. Even at 58, I have a pretty healthy metabolism, and I could knock that gut off in no problem, Roland. I mean, it wouldn't really be an issue if I could work out more. So the only thing I really try to do is cardiovascular, so walking and just swimming in the pool and things like that, just to keep the weight down. But if I could just concentrate on this area, I would have a 6-pack, because I know my body and it wouldn't take that much work. It just, I can't really do it without hurting myself. So that's way more information than you guys needed. Sympathies on the scoliosis, man. Half an hour bent over drawing, and my entire back spine is pooch to hell. Yeah, I mean, it's just a way of life. I've been dealing with it almost all my adult life. So it's out of sight, out of mind. It's just something I deal with. But I mean, it would be nicer. Let me lower this camera. It's bugging me. It would be nice if I could do more, like you said, strengthen my core, because I do know, like, it would actually help if I could, but it just hurts too much. It hurts too much. That would make 2 serial killers that Art has met. Oh, with Narwhal. Well, Narwhal could be a potential. Like, he's in training right now. He's not quite there yet. The other one was Vernon Butts. Vernon Butts. How do you forget a name like that? I'll never forget that name. Yeah, I'll tell that story this Halloween. This October, I'll tell my serial killer story again. I do every year, and it's a scary one. It is scary. Hell chat, hell art, hail, hail, hail. What's up, old man? Hey, Cam, what's up? Nude granny. Yes, a nude granny. So what I thought would be fun is, wow, I'm really behind in the chat. Hey, Death Metal Hero, movies Brewskis, what's up? Yeah, Comicsgate 2020 is strong. So I did some math, and also I found I used to kind of gauge my career by this Teen Titans Spotlight 18 that I worked on. But I want to show you guys some of my early work and see if we can figure out just when I started this crazy journey. So I have some sketchbooks here, and I got some older ones. I got some newer ones. Let me see here. Okay. DC, this was pretty cool. DC sent a sketchbook for us. So this was 07. So this was me doing some Reed Blackett character studies, but this is newer stuff. Let's go back to the archives. This is some of the stuff is this is my daughter's sketchbook. This is 2000. Is that 4 or 9? October 9th. So October 2004. She got a little bit better since. Oh, look at, she's trying painting. Yeah, if you guys don't know, right now she's pretty amazing. She's a pretty talented individual. So cute. Nice rainbow there. There's some storytelling in here. Look at this. She's pretty proficient, pretty prolific in October. I told her always sign or date your work there. So there's some good stuff. Ooh, look at this. Early color work. So that's that. That's in with my other sketchbooks. I think this is my first sketchbook. Yeah, so this This is my first ever sketchbook. Before I go forward, I'm going to drink some water. So I'm going to embarrass myself with some pre-professional drawings. So let me see if there's a date on this. This is like 83. Yeah, 83, 84. So I also used to carry this around with me. So I don't know if you guys can see this. This book's falling apart. Let me move the microphone out of the way. So right here, there's a bunch of signatures. So if I ever met somebody, I'd get them to sign. So you can see in the bottom, there's Dave Stevens right here, the Rocketeer guy. In the other corner is Bill Sienkiewicz. I think the one just above Bill Sienkiewicz is Mike Grill. And then I was on a plane flying to Florida, and so it says "Keep Rockin'," and it's Carmine Apiece, and he's the drummer. I think he was a drummer for, was it Carmine or Vinny? There's two brothers. So maybe Carmine was with the Faces with what was his name? Oh my gosh, Rod Stewart. I think, because I get the two brothers mixed up, because Vinny Appice, I think, played with Dio, Ronnie James Dio, and I think Carmine was the older one, and he played with Rod Stewart. He's done a ton of stuff. Let me see who this other signature is. I can't really recognize it. I think this is George Perez right here. I'm not sure. So anyway, that's that. So I would do hand studies. So this is kind of, I think it's like a wax pencil. So I used to have, because I was studying to be an illustrator, not so much comic book art, but being an illustrator. So they call it a morgue. Like artists don't have this anymore because they have digital files and stuff, and you can find just about anything you need right now. But in the day, like the artists used to have these morgue files. So I had a big file cabinet. So you would find photographs and magazines. You'd buy magazines constantly, books, just stuff like that. I got rid of some of them just recently because I don't need them anymore. So when you're starting and when you're working as an illustrator, you just buy everything that you can find. And so you cut out magazine, like Interesting Hands and stuff like that. So I had a whole hand file. Faces, old people, young people, beautiful women, idealized men, all that kind of stuff. And I don't have it anymore, but that's what I would do. So I would pull photographs and then just draw them up. So I would just do hours and hours of rendering on hands and stuff like that. So here's a couple more. Book closed. And so this looks like it's 84. So let me see, how old was I? 80, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I was probably around 21 or so. Just more. So let me see if I can find some other stuff. So I was kind of getting into some comic book stuff at the time. So I think I was looking at Neil Adams and doing some brush rendering, like early. So this is pretty sloppy. I didn't quite have it down, and some of the line weights are really funky. But that was all brushwork. So just me playing, with some pen and ink. I think these were, I would do, because I believe I was in life drawing class. So they would say, do 2-minute hand studies and stuff like that. So you would just draw up hands. I would just draw up hands and time myself and keep them about 2 minutes. So then this is still 84. So some face studies. You could see like some of them, I guess, are famous people of the time. So I just, like I said, I just get magazines and just draw from magazines. They're pretty finished. But I was just kind of practicing my rendering skills. So I'm pretty, if I have a photograph, I can draw pretty well. This was a girl that I was dating. in 84, whatever. So here's some other just drawings in my sketchbook. So I did like a lot of faces, a lot of hands. I do have some torso studies. You can see everybody does this where they'll take their favorite anatomy drawing book and emulate. So this is all George Bridgman stuff. I think it was definitely Bridgman before I was able to comprehend Bridgman. I go back to it every once in a while and read the book, and it really is an eye-opener. So just a lot of hand gestures and stuff. This is more hand studies. It was like 2-minute drawings. Well, there's a lot. So this just gives you an idea, like repetition. Like there's just pages and pages of different hands in different positions, you know, holding glasses of water, things like that. Wow, there's a lot of them. And then you kind of break down how things work. And you get your anatomy books out. And then just, here's some more just quick. These are a little faster, I think. Doodles from the time. It says 15 minutes. So this one up top is 15 minutes. The one on the bottom is definitely not 15 minutes. Feet. Yeah, just all kinds of stuff. Let me see if there's any high points because this is probably boring. I think I later do get into more like comic book work, starting to study line. Yeah. So I think there's some ink stuff. Yeah. Let me go. There's more hand studies, getting into some torso work. I had a drawing, like just a reference book. And it was like the same guy, and he gets into all kinds of different poses because you're pretty desperate just to have stuff in the time at the day or in the day because there was no internet. So this is me kind of messing with. I think this was a rapidograph of all things. So and if you guys can see, I'm kind of proud of these drawings. There's no underdrawing. This is me just looking at a photograph and drawing with ink. So there's no underdrawing at all. This is just me looking at a photograph and then just drawing it. No pencil underdrawing, no nothing. So this is pretty bad, but this is just like me scribbling, just trying some scribble art. You try a bunch of stuff when you're young. Here's me just doing the same thing. This is all drawn, just there's no underdrawing here. So me kind of starting to do some early line work, trying to figure out line work. Just some environments, more figure drawing. There's all kinds of different craziness in here. Let me see. Head sketches. And these head drawings, keep in mind, like if there's anything in ink, there's no drawing there's no underdrawing. Like this, I think it's Henny Youngman. This is all just drawing with the ink. There's no pencil. There's no structure. It's just me drawing with the ink. I'm actually pretty proud of this stuff. Here's some more scribbling. There's Princess Leia. Let me see. Oh, this stuff's pretty good. I think the line work started work like the hatching. And you can see me correcting the drawing on that one shoulder. As I was drawing it, you could see his waist a little too skinny, but it's all just drawing with the ink. Yeah, I would never do this stuff now. Yeah, this is just drawing with ink. I was big time, I had a sword and sorcery story, so I was big time into the Robert E. Howard novels and Lord of the Rings and stuff. So I was trying to do some like elf stuff. And there's some lady stuff done the same way as that guy. No underdrawing. Here's some more elf drawings. So some of it's in pencil. You can kind of see. So I was kind of, you could tell I was into fantasy. No structures. Here's some more just drawings. And once again, all this stuff is, I still can't believe it. There's no underdrawing. I just drew this with a rapidograph. I'm pretty surprised that it even came out this good. I'm going to spare you from some of this stuff. Here's some more Bridgman stuff. Skulls. You can tell this is from Bridgman. Yeah. I now have like skulls, and I have a skeleton, like a full skeleton in the other room. So I looked that stuff up now. The planes of the face, Bridgman. So I got some with Bern Hogarth in it as well, but nothing that cool. So I think I was just drawing from like TV Guide. If you guys remember TV Guide, so these are probably actors of the time. I don't even know who they are, but I like this guy's face. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, so this, you got to keep in mind, this is probably a year or so before I broke in professionally. So here's some more TV Guide, obviously. And there's no underdrawing. I used to just draw with a pen. I just draw stuff. Pretty nutty. More Bridgman. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is pretty bad, quick drawings, but this is starting to get into the professional. I was just doing some quick drawings of the Warlord, which was my first professional pencil job at DC Comics. So I did this character right here, the Warlord. I believe I followed Dan Jurgens on Warlord. And then I think the Thibert brothers followed me on that book. So that was definitely a book where they were, DC was trying a bunch of new talent on, trying to do some understanding of different animals, how they move. At one point, I was thinking I would be an animator, but that is a study beyond me. So I don't know this character's name, but I think she's from the Warlord. I never got to draw her in the comic book. So I think I was looking at Mike Grill's work. So wait, here's this. Let me see if I can focus on it. So yeah, some of that stuff was pretty sexy. Yeah, I think this is me. I was looking at John Buscema because he just draws crazy cool horses. So I didn't so much. I looked at Mike Grill stuff for just the basic character in the world, but I always like John Buscema. So this is me just kind of drawing the Warlord on a John Buscema horse. So there's another one right there. So yeah, so this is still probably 84, 85. Let me see, where did we start? Yeah, 84. 83. It starts at 83, so this is 84. More Warlord drawings. So let me see. Is there? Oh, this is God, who was this? I was definitely looking at somebody. I don't remember if it's Buscema or if this is actually Mike Grill. But when you're starting off, you kind of look at other people's work. And this one says 86 now. So this goes from 80, what did I say, 83? I think just the first page is 83. So there's just like more Warlord stuff, just trying to figure out the character. I was a big Neil Adams guy, so I liked Mike Grill because Mike Grill looked, drew a lot like Neil Adams. So here's some more just warlord studies. And I was probably just getting a lot of these poses and stuff from other sources. Some Frank Frazetta or something. Some Frazetta, some Buscema. And then here's some, I think this was my next job, was Aqualad. But I'll give you a quick shot of it, but I'm not going to spend too much time because it was a pretty bad drawing. Yeah, there's a lot more just like little layouts and just stuff that's not that interesting. So this is before I really knew how to ink well. So this is Aqualad. And then, wait a minute. Could it be? What year is this? Let me flip it over. There's no year on it. So this is, I loved Iron Fist as a kid. So I used to have these characters like super bugs or something like that. So they were like these super bugs, but they were, just modeled after superheroes. This is before I knew composition and how to crop things. Look at his fist is going right out of the border there. Wow, that paper's really thin. Let's see what else is here. Oh my gosh. This is a flyer. I tell you guys that I always played in bands. So this is before we were clubbing it. This is our garage days. Party of the 80s. Get down. TKO Rock Cypress. Yeah, we did. Let me see. What the hell is this? Oh, I remember this. I got like these kind of day glow markers. So this obviously when I was a little kid. I don't know why I just drew a movie or like a street scene. Holy crap! This paper's like transparent. I must have been like a little kid when I drew this. Probably around 8 or 9, maybe 10. Wow, this is funny. I didn't think this stuff was here. Oh, the electric. DC Comics. Their new character. Ooh, the Spectre. Yeah. Even then, I like the dark. Hold on. What year was this? It's SunCon, our 6th anniversary show. Let me see. Our Thibert guests. It doesn't have the... Oh, whoa. It says 1991. So there's 1991. Where is it? Oh, there's this guest. R.T. Bear, inker on Marvel's X-Men and X-Factor. Is that Pat Broderick? Green Lantern and upcoming Ragman. 1991. I got all kinds of crap in here. Los Angeles Comic Book Marketplace. What is this? Great Eastern Conventions. I remember those. Mark Bagley was there. Let's see, what else is this? Oh, wait a minute. This might be fun. Hold on. 1991 nominees. Let's see who was nominated back then. Sorry, I got something in my eye. So old as dirt, you guys. Old as dirt. Let's see. R.T. Bear, Best Inker. Uncanny X-Men. So I know that I was also nominated for Best Inker for Adventures of Superman. And that would probably be a year or two before this. So the 90s were good to me. All the 90s. Every last drop of 90s. Okay, so that sketchbook that I showed you, that was like before I worked professionally. And just as I was starting to, so you could kind of see the trajectory, the progress of it. Hold on. Alfred, thank you so much, man. $1.99 super sticker. Thank you. I do appreciate it. You are awesome. You are awesome. I'm going to go back just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Bridgman, baby. Yeah, Bridgman. Reminds me of Batchy Fire and Ice. Yeah. That, I think that was Frazetta inspired. Love Sword and Sorcery. I'll tell you right now, I loved Sword and Sorcery so much. I wasn't like a superhero guy when I first got back into comics, because I read comics when I was a kid. And then I got about like 14, 15, 16, girls, rock and roll, cars, sports. So I kind of wasn't that into comics anymore. And so then around this time that these sketchbooks started, I started getting back into comics, but it wasn't really superhero stuff as much as it was Buscema's Conan, Savage Sword. I liked a lot of the Pacific comic stuff, like Dave Stevens' Rocketeer, a lot of the Bernie Wrights and stuff. So more of the, I guess, more adult-oriented comics or artist-driven comics I started getting into. And most of that was Sword and Sorcery. But what I did is I was so gung-ho that I think I burnt myself out, man, because I can't really get into it now at all. It would have to be done so well. It would have to be done better than the Savage Sword stuff that that Buscema had done. And it would have to be better than the Robert E. Howard novels and some of that stuff, because to me, like, I don't know where you go from there, in a contemporary way, if they could ever just top that. So I think I just burn out of it, a Lord of the Rings. Oh, like you never saw a man in a jockstrap. Eric shows up. Eric who? Eric Weathers. Hey, Eric, what's up, man? We got to do a show together, man, because I know Battlebrick Road is closing soon, I think. I believe, and I'd like to do my thing. I'd like to do my thing and help promote your book, because Eric is one of the cool guys. Yeah. There is a Roy Orbison in the sketchbook. I think I was just anything I could find, you guys, because there was no internet. So if you could, like, even the TV guide was like prized possession, because there was photographs and stuff in there, and they're usually like really, really low res and all muddy looking, but it didn't matter. Is that the Unabomber? I think that's oh my gosh, we just said it. Roy Orbison. Yeah. God, I was blanking there. That was scary. That was scary, you guys. I was blanking. All right. Held chat, other sources, Penthouse. Of course. There were those as well. Which Neil Adams books would you recommend the most? There was a time, I think it was probably 70s. I don't know if it was mid 70s, around there, that to me was just vintage, I guess early 70s, mid 70s, maybe late 60s. I don't really know when the books came out, but obviously the Avengers stuff that he did, I really liked that. I think Tom Palmer was inking him, and I love all the Green Lantern stuff that he did. I believe a lot of that was Dick Giordano on that. All that stuff around that time, he was so good. And I think, like, all my early training is all realism. So I studied life drawing, and I was trying to break in as an illustrator, not as a comic book artist. So I wanted to do illustration, book covers, album covers, things like that. And so I was studying more realism. So the artists that drew more realistic, I liked. I now I now am more animation. I like animation art. I like stuff that's a little bit more stylized, less realistic. But maybe before I go, well, let me see. I'm trying to do this in somewhat of a chronological order. So old business cards. So let me see here. I did this. This looks like 88. So I was trying like different ink line. I was trying to be looser. I really liked Klaus Janson. So I did that. Let me see what is in here. There's, like I said, realism. And somebody said penthouse. So yeah, there was stuff. You drew the pretty girls. You drew the pretty girls. You know, what else are you going to do? I got tons of business cards in here. So this is probably the pretty girl phase. So I think I was correct. So yeah, this is a few years later. This is like me trying to be like really loose with the pencils, but still be realistic. Lots more here. I think this was like a wax pencil with some graphite. I think there's some painting involved with that as well. So just a bunch of weird stuff. More ink drawing. I was just working on some layouts. So this is when I was working professionally now. So this is Time Masters, the very beginning. So there's some thumbnails for like covers and promotional stuff. Let me see if there's anything else here worth. Most of these are really, really loose. There's some tight stuff. I think this is a wax pencil as well. That's why it's more, it's darker. So I think we know who that is. Look, Keith Richards action. So yeah, it was just like whatever I could get a hold of, I drew. You know, there's a little pen and ink face there. So I think I would just get bored and just sit. I had some markers, so I was playing with markers, trying to be more graphic in my approach. You know, just more bold, just simple line, messing with markers, and just different ink techniques. That girl has a little bit of a horse face, just a little bit. So just messing around, drawing some stuff. Batman's always been my favorite. So yeah, just more graphic representations of things. Just seeing how just simple line graphics. I think her face is pretty cool. It's very simple. I think this character was, these were character studies for that Time Masters, because I think there was a character that looked like that. It's been so long. Just a bunch of stuff. Getting into putting characters in environments. I got a bunch of just like layouts and stuff, just like blue line pencil stuff. This is me trying to paint. You can definitely tell when this is, you know, 90s with all that kind of bright colors. More Time Master stuff, sexy stuff. This is Superman drawings. I think I went back into the sketchbook years later. So this is like a Reed Blackett helmet version. So you can see I was definitely in my Kevin Nolan phase here. So yeah, there's a bunch of doodles like that. So that's like my second or third sketchbook. And so I did want to show you this. This was my first professional work. So you guys have heard me talk about L. Ron Hubbard and working for Bridge Publications. So this was it. So it was Writers of the Future. And so what L. Ron Hubbard did is he would give a showcase to a bunch of up and coming writers. And so then they hired me to do the intro to each one of the chapters. So each one of the new stories has a piece of artwork drawn by me. So they're really small. It's on really, really bad paper, but there's all kinds of different doodles in here. I have them all marked off. Paper's all yellowing. So here's another one. So you could definitely tell it's all photo and more illustration based. So it's not great, but this is where I started. There's another one. So this was my first published work ever. This is non-comics, but there's bats everywhere. Bats flying. That one guy's got a net. The net looks way too small to catch any of those bats. But anyway, I did a few of these, and so then I did some cover illustration, which I have to go deeper into the Thibert archives to find. I did some paintings and stuff, and I know that that L. Ron Hubbard has a little bit of a reputation, right? He has a little bit like, oh yeah, he's a weirdo, Scientology, all that other stuff. But I'll tell you, this was Bridge Publications, so they published those books like Scientology and things. But those people were all above board. They never tried any of that stuff that you hear about. There was nothing like that. They always treated me very, very well, like better than anybody had ever treated me before, even my family. It was pretty amazing. I think I just saw, wait, hold on. Let me make sure that I don't miss anything. Okay, there's that. Okay, oh, there it is. Jimmy Owens for $5. Can't wait for my black and white. You deserve the best art. Thank you so much, Jimmy. I do appreciate it, and thank you for the super chat. So that is there. It's weird because it didn't go to the top, so I didn't see that right off the bat. So I need to force myself to come back in the chat. We have Kami Mark. Hey, Kami Mark, what's up, man? He's got a great YouTube channel, and thanks for having me on the other day. That was a blast. Good people in Comicsgate. Ass titty, doon 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 ass titty, doon 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 ass titty. All right, I got to read this. Jordan Clark. Hey Art, if there are any posters from the Second Chance Black and White left, will you think about carrying them over to Volume 2 campaign? Excuse me. I have a feeling that a lot of the stuff is going to go over into the Second Chance or into the Volume 2 campaign. And you guys have been asking about using that piece of artwork that I'm using for the Second Chance. It's the poster art, making a variant for the Volume 2 campaign. So I may do that. I'm still gonna do another cover, but I may use that as a cover as well. That artwork just came out really good. You guys seem to really like it. So yeah, I'm gonna use it. Yeah, gasp. Let me see. Spirits Car. Illustrations for L. Ron Hubbard is way cooler than illustrations for Jordan Peterson. Ever go to the Scientology? I did. They weren't Scientology parties, though. They were just parties. Like I said, those guys, they treated me really, really well. And I still remember the art director. His name was Fred Harris. And that guy was so freaking cool to me. And I got paid really good money for this illustrations for these guys. It was top dollar, and I was nobody. And that guy saw me at like San Diego Comic-Con, and he just said, "Here's my card. Give me a call after the show." I called him. I drove up to LA and met with him, showed him my stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I got this work, and then, like I said, I did some covers, which I do have to find. I did some other interior illustrations for them. And the big thing that I do have to find for you guys, because I think it would be fun, is Battlefield Earth. They liked me so much over there that they hired me to do a comic book adaptation of Battlefield Earth. Believe it or not, like, I'm trying to think, what was I doing at the time? I was probably just, maybe I was working as Jim Valentino's assistant. I wasn't working at Marvel and DC at this time. So this predates, Marvel and DC. So they asked me to do it. So they gave me the novel, the Battlefield Earth novel. I read it over. They said, find some key scenes and just break them down into, plot and then draw them up. So I did 2 or 3 pages and I brought them in to Fred Harris and he loved them. And I had a problem with another artist that was on the project. And so he and I got into a little bit of a fight about it. I want to name his name, but he later did comic books and it's not worth naming his name. But he came into the meeting late and he threw me under the bus. He proceeded to act like he was the guy that was running the show. The job was given to me. And this guy took over. And then he actually, to make himself feel bigger, he started going over my work. Like, he was actually critiquing my work in front of the art director, who already signed off on it, by the way. He already loved it. So the deal was done. And so he came in and just started throwing all kinds of shade on me. I don't know why. Ego put me in my place. I don't know why he did it. But I'll tell you right now, that guy just destroyed me, because I had never had anybody do that to me before. This was, like I said, this was me starting out, and he destroyed me. When I say destroyed, I mean destroyed. Like, emotionally, I was done. And so I politely got up, I grabbed my stuff, and I said, "Thank you so much, Fred, for taking the time to meet with me. And but I can't do the job." And so then I got up and I walked out. And so as I was leaving, I hit the elevator, and this asshole of a human being came out, the guy that threw me under the bus, and it's like, "How dare you leave me in that meeting alone? I left me holding the bag." And he's berating me. After all he did, he starts berating me on top of that. And I just turned to him and I go, "Fuck you, get away from me." I told him, "Fuck off." And so then just about that time, it was funny because Fred says, "Art, wait." And he didn't say this other guy. So the other guy that I'm talking about, I want to say his name so bad, gets in the elevator, goes down. So now it's just Fred and I. And so then Fred says, he says, "Art," he said, I want to tell you something. He said, "I didn't hire that guy. You brought him in to help out. It was colors or some, I forget what it was." He said, "But I didn't hire that guy. I hired you. So you have the job. We like what you did. You have the job. If you want to move forward on it, we will." And I said, "Well, thank you very much. I'll think about it." And he said, "I want to give you some advice, because I've been doing this for a long time." And he said, "You're going to meet a lot of a-holes like that in your lifetime. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to try to diminish your, what you bring to the table. And they're going to do these things to you." And he said, "My advice is get a thicker skin and start learning to deal with these people." And I said, "I have a thick enough skin." And I said, "And I choose not to deal with people like this." So all my career, I've pretty much stayed true to that. There are assholes that I've had to work with. I keep them at arm's length, but I don't deal with them. I don't make the same mistake of thinking that they got my back or they're my friends. I identify it quickly and I move on. And if it's an asshole that I don't have to work with, then I just don't work with them. So there's certain people that are on a list that I'll never work with again because they were complete and utter assholes. So my thing is I just don't work with assholes. You know what I mean? I have a thick enough skin. I can deal with this stuff. I know what I'm worth and I know what I bring to a job. So but still, I just don't want to be around people like that. I don't like them. Life is too short. So, F people like that. But that was amazing, man. I could not believe the guts and the balls on this guy to do what he did. And so I still worked with Fred Harris, and I worked at Bridge Publications, after that. So I still had a good working relationship with them. They always treated me really, really well. And I do remember I was in the office when L. Ron Hubbard died. And the only weird thing about the offices was that there's a waiting room, and when you come in the waiting room, there's a big portrait of L. Ron Hubbard. And I always think those things are weird, like in comic books, we do stuff like that, but I still think it's weird to have like a massive painting of even your founding, person, or, the founding fathers of your company or whatever. It's just kind of weird, especially in the lobby like that. It's a little off-putting, but it was there. And that was the only thing that I thought was ever weird. And then I came in the office. I was bringing some artwork in to drop it off with Fred, and everybody was really, really sad in the office. And the one receptionist was actually fighting back tears. And I was like, "What's wrong? What happened?" And she said, "L. Ron Hubbard died." He didn't mean anything to me. I never met the man. I liked his publishing company. I liked the people that were running his company, but I never met the guy. And this is also kind of before Scientology, because all I knew was, what was it called? Dianetics. So Bridge Publications put out the Dianetics book, and I read that book. It's just a self-help book. Nothing was really weird or creepy about that. And also, I read the book, and it seemed like just kind of like no shit advice. Like it was just kind of common sense stuff, cause and effect, things like that. So I didn't think the book was all that deep or meaningful. I guess there's some people that put more meaning into it than there should be, but it didn't change my life. And I read Battlefield Earth, and I thought it was a pretty standard sci-fi novel. I didn't think it was all that great. I never really read any L. Ron Hubbard stuff before that or after that. I just didn't think he was that good just based on that one book. So there was no reason I wanted to read more. But everybody was pretty distraught, I do remember. And I then knew that this guy he meant more to these people than just running the company, because people that are receptionists and stuff like, they don't cry when the founder dies. But I do have one more Bridge Publication and L. Ron Hubbard story, and this was, like I said, these guys treated me so well. And so Fred Harris, and there were a couple other artists that were about my level that worked there, that were doing illustrations for them. And so they had Frank Frazetta over, and Frank Frazetta did covers for them. Like, it wasn't just like no-name talent like myself. They were hiring big name people to do covers for them. And so I want to say that it wasn't Battlefield Earth that he did a cover for. That guy he wasn't that good. But there was, I can't remember the cover of what novel it was, but there was some Frank Frazetta paintings. And so anyway, it was like a catered lunch. And so it was a Q&A with Frank Frazetta. So they had his painting that he had just done for whatever this novel was. So it was there. And then we ate. And there were like just a handful of us. There were like 3 or 4 of us. So it was just, 3 or 4 of us, and Frank Frazetta, and then Fred Harris, the art director. And so then he's just like, "Any questions?" And I was like, holy shit, man, we get to talk to Frank Frazetta. We get to ask him questions. And keep in mind, sword and sorcery, fantasy, illustration, that's where my head was at, man. It was all right there, man. This guy was a god to me. And so I remember asking him, I was like, "There's one thing that you do, Frank, and it boggles my mind, but it's so freaking cool. Like, you'll have a color scheme that all kind of makes sense, right? And then there'll be one odd color, just one random color that isn't in the color scheme. It doesn't match. It doesn't do anything. it's just there, like a bright red or a bright like weird yellow green or something like that. And I said, why do you do that? He goes, there's no real reason to do it. He said, it just brings excitement. So I love that. I love like listening to like Ridley Scott talk, where Ridley Scott's like, one of the art directors was like, why all the smoke? Why the lights moving? Why all that stuff? He goes, it's interesting. It makes it interesting. It's not reality. It's heightened reality, but it makes the piece interesting. And so I started thinking, it was the first time, because like I said, I was all very realism, very photo reference and all that other stuff. So when he told me that, I started thinking, you can think outside the box. Like, you don't have to bring in all this logical stuff. You can just do things, just flights of fantasy. You can just take chances. And just to let you know, like all this, the ripple effects of Frank Frazetta, like this right here would not exist. Look at the it's pretty monochromatic, the whole tone. But I was like, Thomas, let's do this. So it's got like the Ridley Scott environments, which I brought in and asked Thomas to enhance. But then there's that one little piece of color that isn't anywhere else. And when Kyle Ritter and I were working on the Vampirilla cover, we did something else. Like it was fun because I went over all this Frank Frazetta artwork, and I was like, oh man, this is fun. And then I picked out a bunch of them, and I just said, let's do some kind of Frank Frazetta-esque background here. Like, let's just kind of paint it up like a tribute to Frank. And so Kyle did, and he nailed it, man. That's one of my favorite color jobs ever. Oh, I just saw, is this it? What is that? Hyper Kaiju? $2. Thank you. Hail Old Man Art. Can't wait for black and white. Soon, you guys. Very, very soon. The trading cards are at the printer. And as soon as we get those cards back, Pamela is going to start fulfilling that campaign. So if you back the book, you will get the book pretty darn soon. Let's see what Death Metal Hero has to say. Frazetta actually did do... Thank you. There were two covers, right? There was the main cover, which is actually pretty boring. And then there was Frank's cover. Thank you. I wanted to say it was, but the novel I have doesn't have a Frank Frazetta cover on it. So that's cool. Thank you. Thank you for that little tidbit. So that's what the actual painting was that I was looking at. That was the Battlefield Earth cover. So wow, awesome Frazetta tip art. Yeah, it stuck with me forever. Like there's things that there's all kinds of people that I would just love to thank. I would just like to spend all kinds of hours just thanking, Walter Simonson for taking time with me early on, Carl Potts. Like there's just a ton of people, Mike Carlin, Frank Frazetta, just all these guys that I would like to, just be able to thank one day. Jim Lee, I always send Jim Lee a Christmas card every year, and I thank him. I'm like, thanks, man. It's one of those once in a lifetime, chances to work with, an iconic talent like that. So I look back and, I'm just like giddy, just like, how did this happen? You know what I mean? Like this guy took a chance with me and believed in what I could do. And I didn't just ink him. I did finishes over Jim Lee. Most of the work I did with Jim was doing finishes. So I was rendering that stuff and adding blacks and things to it. So that's a lot of trust to give to somebody, and I do appreciate it. Aaron Lopresti is in the chat. Straighten up those pile of books in the background, will you? Like this? I don't know, man. My studio is a mess right now, so maybe I will. Maybe I will, Aaron, since you embarrassed me on my live stream. What a mess of a human I am. Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of the early day stuff, my sketchbooks. Like I said, DC sent this, so I think this is a lot of alternate, black and white, trying to figure out like a new version of Reed Blackett, kind of playing with, it's horrible, but like different jaw shapes and just trying. Look at this. Look at that guy's jaw, his chin. It's horrible. But just me playing around with it. Like, this was actually kind of like Whitney sung in her youth as a rebellious child. You know, so there's all kinds of just craziness. There's when I was trying to do something with a full helmet for Reed Blackett and giving him a different nose, like a really just a very like hawk nose or straight nose. It's just a bunch of, you know, just trying new things, trying to figure out how the helmet would work. Like, it's all kind of telescoping, so it goes back into that jaw piece. And I may come back on some of these things. This is like me trying to do like an animation version of Whitney with that same helmet design. So I was definitely in my animation phase at this point, trying to do stuff with Brooks Gray, trying to cartoon him up a little bit more, just do, you know, alternate versions. You know, just this is 07. You know, I think that version of Reed is pretty good. Like, the jaw is a little bit better. So just trying to adjust things, just having fun. Also, like, some of the animation that I was into, you know, figuring out shapes. So, like, you know, Brooks Gray's head is like more of a light bulb shape, where it's bulbousy on top, and then the jaw is really, really narrow. And then I had some markers, so I was just trying some marker stuff. So I can do color work. I just really don't. I just really don't. Just all kinds of stuff. Just kind of playing around. I was just kind of Star Wars, looking at different robots and trying to figure out some different robot shapes and designs to do with the new version. I like that kind of hunter-killer look. It's kind of cartoony, but there's all kinds of different shapes and forms and things I was trying out. I would love to just, if I could spend just a year on just developing something, that's where I get the most fun, just bringing in different influences and trying new stuff. There's that jaw, that pointed jaw of Reed. Look at how big that freaking chin is. It's horrible. But I was going with more of a cropped haircut, robot shapes, just silly ideas, blacks, just more just faces, just stupid things. There's some chrono mechanic stuff in here. There's some just working in different styles and just doing crazy shit. I was looking at that guy from what is it, Coheed and Cambria, the guitar player singer, and I was just kind of doing a caricature or cartoon version of that guy, and then he made it into one of the stories, one of the versions. So this is kind of just me fooling around. You could see like I'm kind of in my Travis Charest phase. So I kind of have phases, bringing in some pale colors, just different stuff. I actually liked Whitney with dark hair, just different ideas. Just dumb stuff. There's a Doug in mechanic form. So just trying different things out. So yeah, just pages and pages. I got just bunches of sketchbooks, just random crap. Paul McCartney looking dude. Just different things. These are like alternate Whitney sung hairstyles. This is a character that I'm gonna bring. It's over here. He's in the ongoing story. We did one black and white that was issue 1 of the ongoing, and that character's in there. His name's Mitchell, And then his name was Mitchell the Mole, like his nickname. So I actually started drawing him more like a rodent face, like a mole. Like I said, this was definitely in my more cartooning phase. There's a lot of, you can see there's more of a cartoon look here with the face. I actually like it. Her eyes are a little wide spread on some of these shots, and the jaw is a little bit manly. Oh, oh my gosh, just like full on layouts and stuff, like panels from the book. Just trying different things, different thugs. Just hours and hours. Look at this. Just notes, just crazy stuff. Little thumbnails. There's some more stuff. Just panel ideas, just throwing stuff out. I remember Howard Chaykin say, don't ever try new things in the book, in your book, like your actual story pages. Do them all in your sketchbook. So this is really horrible. That body's all busted up. It's real skinny, but trying to get some sexy. I thought this was kind of a neat layout idea for a panel. Trying to get the sexy in the comics. Oh, I had a label idea for White Sun, the beer. Just all kinds of stuff. You can get lost in this, you guys, but I loved it. I love just kind of hanging out and just like this is Uncle Yi in his office, and he's just kind of hit rock bottom. Look at all the trash knocked over. He's just been drinking. There's bottles all over. And I don't know what this is. This is a little thumbnail for a panel layout or a page layout. But yeah, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I would just love to spend hours and days doing this stuff. Let me see. What is this? Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like a hunter-killer design. It's different ships. Let's see, what else is in here? Just a bunch of random crap. I was trying to, there's another page. I was trying to get these two together. Let me see, do some like lovey-dovey stuff. Sexy. Yeah, I was trying to bring the sex into the story. Let me see what Pedro has to say. Hey, Art, speaking of animation, I have to send you something I'm doing on my free time. Yeah, I would love to see it, Pedro. Pedro also is the one that did that great black and white animated drawing. It's killer, man. I told you, Pedro, I'm working on black and white. I signed a deal. Black and white is being developed as an animated cartoon right now, you guys. And I showed my partner, John, your drawing, Pedro, and he wants to connect with you. So I'm not sure what he has in mind. Probably no good. He's probably up to no good, but he wants to probably use your talents somehow. So thank you so much for the $5. I do appreciate that. That was very nice of you. Smiling Bandito, always. Oh, Smiling Bandito, how you doing, brother? Always fun going through an artist sketchbook. Yeah, you guys, that's just the tip of the iceberg, man. I got some crazy stuff. I don't have a lot of time. I draw and just stupid stuff, all, like it's all over the place. It's all over my studio, but I don't put it in sketchbooks anymore, which I should, because most of that stuff just gets thrown away or gets lost in the archives. So when they're in sketchbooks, you know where they are. It's more concentrated and you can find the stuff. So maybe I should start putting these ideas down in sketchbooks again. So I do want to let you guys know. So I'm gonna go into business mode here. So Chrono Mechanics is at the printer. This is a proof copy. So this is an actual book. Of the Chrono comic. but you can see they cropped it really weird, and the whole book is done like this. So, and the color's a little off, but he said that this was not offset printed. This was digital. So the colors will change. They assured us. So we have another proof coming. Pamela told me this morning it will be here this Monday. So if all goes well and that proof copy is amazing, then I will okay it and we will go into full production, which should only take a week after that. So I'm sorry for the delay. A lot of this is beyond our control. If they would have actually not screwed up, you guys, I mean, we would have the books probably right now because it's been a week since I got this. So, yeah, everything takes time, but I really love the feel. The paper, the cover stock is amazing. Look at this book. It's gorgeous. The front inside cover. Look what Sean Ellery did. Brilliant. And so, yeah, it is done. And so the other thing is the black and white campaign is live right now. So this book is obviously printed up. We have these in stock. They're all here. Like I said early on, once we get the trading cards, which they're at the printers now, once we get the trading cards back, Pamela's going to start fulfilling this campaign, the Second Chance campaign, which means you're going to get the books hopefully before the campaign ends. You know, that's the plan anyway. The plan is to do that. And she's all geared up to get those books out. She's already organized everything. She's printing out all your names. She's printing out the mailer stickers, I guess, with your addresses on them and everything. So she's getting things together, and it really is just going to come down to getting those trading cards, because we won't be able to get all the orders out, but this version, the Capullo version, the main version, we can't send out the Vamprillas yet. We don't have those. And anything with the posters in them, we can't send those out yet because we don't have the posters yet. So we're still looking at manufacturers, because we talked to a couple different printers locally, and they can't handle anything that big. So we may have to farm the poster print out because it's 24 by 36. So it's quite big. Very cool. Hey, thank you, Albino. Thank you for the shout out. Also, you guys, the Black and White Second Chance campaign is in the description. So click that link, go there, back a book. There's a bunch of cool stuff in there. And also there is a link to Chrono Mechanics. Chrono Mechanics this last week has been heating up. You guys are really supporting that book, even though it's been in demand for a while. I do appreciate it. We just unlocked the 45K stretch goal, which I'm going to share with you guys right now. Because it's a killer campaign. I'm very, very proud of this book. Like I said, it really did print up well. It's just kind of not centered. The pages are. So $45,508, 615 backers. That means 615 of you guys will get one of these books, plus whatever else you ordered. So this is very, very cool. I'm overwhelmed with the support. You guys are amazing. Oh, and don't forget to click these. They're right under the video. They're fun little little reviews that we got by a bunch of famous people throughout time. So come by, read those. We used a couple of them in the back of the book too. So we started off as a 48-page book, you guys, and it was just going to be saddle stitched. And because of you and supporting the book and getting us to the stretch goals, we managed to take it from a 48-page to 60 pages. So that's 12 additional pages. We also start off as a saddle stitch. So now we are as a square bound graphic novel. This book looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous. So come by, read this, and you can get kind of an idea of what the concept is. But in a nutshell, they are time repairmen, and time is literally a big machine that was built in the very fabric of the universe when it was formed. So this machine is a nuts and bolts clockwork cosmic machine. And so since it's old, like me, it breaks down a lot. This machine breaks down constantly. So there's a company called Chrono Incorporated that is entrusted in repairing and fixing the machine. So they hire a bunch of diverse, talented individuals from throughout time to come in and repair the machine. And they are known as chrono mechanics. So that's who these guys are right here. And they have a little bit of a Captain Marvel, not Captain Marvel, sorry, showing my age, Shazam, where they have alter egos. So they have a core self. And then when they power up in their work suits or they suit up. So basically it's the same idea as when you go to work, you put your construction uniform on. So when they put their construction uniform on, it's not just a suit, it actually changes their full body. So we call it a body transformation suit. So it gives them all the same physique and the same attributes. So they have a certain level of durability, strength, and they have stamina that goes beyond like a normal human being. They're also slightly taller. They're like 7+ feet tall. And so those are the specs that they need to repair the big machine. So not a normal Joe could go in there and just fix the machine. You have to be chosen. You have to have one of these suits. So the story focuses on Doug, who is the new recruit in the story. So you get to see how he fits in. If he fits in, he's pretty much just a self-centered, latter 20th century slacker, just self-absorbed, only cares about himself. So here's Chrono Incorporated out in timeless space. Here are some of the supporting characters that keep time running smoothly and keep Chrono Incorporated, working. Is the elucidator, who is Eugene, and then Skippy, who is the foreman's assistant, but he goes beyond just being an assistant. So this is him going through the daily routines with Eugene, who is basically the computer for Chrono Incorporated. He's the data bank. He keeps track of all timelines, all goings on at Chrono Incorporated. He knows all, but he likes to think of himself as a human. So he tries to interact in the form of this walking, talking, breathing, dare I say, hologram. So he likes to interact more one-on-one with people. So he gives Skippy some bad news here. So here, this illustrates the Shazam effect with the chrono mechanics. So this is Caravaggio, and so then he powers down, and then you get to see that he is a Renaissance painter inventor, and he is a dynamite dresser. He's a bit of a dandy. So then Doug literally runs into the next mechanic, which is Oot. So you see him all powered up in his suit, in his work clothes. And so then he powers down and he's going to thump this guy because he doesn't like anybody to touch him. So Doug literally bumps into him and he doesn't like that. So he's just going to pummel him. So he gets saved from the hands of death, the jaws of death here. And then we see that there is Zin, who is the peaceful, he's a kid deity, and he's worshipped by lower life forms throughout the galaxy. So he has a mantra, which is the me, myself, and I. So he's kind of a self-help guy, a little like L. Ron Hubbard, if you will. So then he shows that he's a tiny little squid character. He's a squid guy. So then that's the core group of characters that are Team 9.2 of Sector 7. So then, we get to see time running amok here. So the basic story is that time is a big machine and they need to fix it. So the mechanics have a series of mishaps that happen up to this point. And the longer the machine goes without being fixed, the more time anomalies will happen. So what's happening here in this drawing is time is merging upon itself. So the core timeline is prehistoric, but you can see that a 50s cafe just appears out of nowhere. So then we realize that something's wrong here. Something bad is happening. Time is merging, so the machine is in bad shape. So then they try to get back to work. I don't want to spoil too much, but they're basically just trying to explain things in a simple way that Doug will understand so that Doug will step up and be the fourth member of this team. But Doug is having nothing to do with it. And so this is just showing more of time merging. So now we have like an Indian village or Native American village, I guess is the more proper way to say it. And I don't know, there's a lot of little visual jokes like this. You can see this pregnant Indian woman here, and she already has a papoose, but she's also pregnant. So she's kind of sizing up Ood here for the next candidate for fatherhood. So it'll go over kids' heads, but adults will find little tidbits like this throughout the book. Here's the work in progress sketchbook. Here's some interior ideas that will be in the book. And so here's the mystery sketch tier, which is an add-on. So developmental art, behind the scenes stuff will get put into this envelope and shipped along with your book. And it's only $20, you guys, no additional shipping. So it's a nice little addition, and it might actually be a panel or a page of the comic book. You can never tell. You never know what you're going to get. So we have the variant cover collection. So this is Superstar Talents. This is Oot, drawn by Sean Cheeks Galloway. Here is Doug, the variant cover, drawn by Tom Bancroft. And I think if Aaron is still in the chat, I'm going to talk him up. The great, the brilliant, the amazingly talented comic book artist, Aaron Lopresti, did Zin here, which is brilliant. And it's kind of styled after a Bernie Wrightson cover, which I thought was cool. And so then we have Caravaggio, drawn by Carlo Barberi and inked by me, colored by the great Peria Perai. And so here, this is a world tour poster I think is cool. I wish we could get more of these into your homes because I think it's just awesome. I would love to see pictures of your house, your studio, your man cave with a Doug World Tour poster hanging in it. I think it'd be cool. And then we had the Time to Panic, and then we have the 4 mini prints that go with that. So stretch goals. Some of these stretch goals, you guys, I am going to be shutting down soon because once I get the book, it's going to simplify the campaign for my beautiful wife. So you'll still get the trading cards. You'll still get the button. You'll still get the guitar pick. But the golden time card, the free doodle, I'm going to have to end that because I need an actual print run. I need to know how many people have backed the book because it's 1 out of every 10. So I need a head count because I can't keep doing these drawings until I'm old and gray. Or can I? So yeah, once the books come back from the printer, this right here will go away. So anybody that backs the book after that, this tier will not be available to you. And then we have the 45K stretch goal, which is the patch. You guys will get this. This will go out to everybody even after we get the books back. And there was another stretch goal. It was this one. Oh, and the movie script. The movie script, you guys, is just going to be for everybody that backs a book now. So once we get the books back, the script is going to go bye-bye. Just because Pamela's going to have a lot of things to keep track of, and this will be one less thing for her to keep track of. And the main reason we did that was to help out everybody with the pandemic. So if you guys back a book right now, a PDF version of the movie script will go out to you within a day or two. Pamela's been pretty much on top of this. So most likely you would get this script today. So if you backed a book, a PDF version of this will go to you ASAP. So this was written by myself and Matthew J. Hillary, who is a actual script writer. That's what he does. He writes novels as well. So he's brilliant. We did this movie script together. It took us years, you guys, years to write this. I would love to get this into each and every one of your hands just so you could see the work, because one of the things is there's a lot of stuff that I've done that will never see the light of day. So this is one of them. So I'm really hoping that you guys can can back this so I can get this into your hands. And like I said, you'll have some reading material to help out with the lockdown. So it's 112 pages, and I think it's brilliant. I think it's really, really well done. It's nothing like the comic book, actually. I mean, it is beholden to the comic book, but one of the things that Matthew is good at is kind of anchoring things in more reality. Like the Chrono Mechanics story is really, it's like Hitchhiker's Guide. It's pretty nutty stuff. And there is accountability. There is a world that's built, but there is a certain level of just nuttiness. And also we added a new artwork here. So this is page 12. This is the page that pretty much gives you the backstory of what happened to their fallen mechanic, Miguel, as Caravaggio calls him, sweet Miguel. So yeah, you guys come check it out. Back a book. Like I said, these will be going out soon, so there's not a whole lot of waiting time for this. So as soon as we get those books back, we will go into fulfillment on that. So then my next is we have volume 1, Second Chance. So this is live right now. So this is not in demand, you guys. So this is limited. So we have 17 days left. We're about the halfway mark on this campaign, and it is doing really, really well. I thank each and every one of you for backing it and sending out tweets, doing the guerrilla marketing thing. I do appreciate that. And if I could encourage everybody to do that as well today, that would definitely help. So Black and White and Chrono Mechanic could use a little bit of a promotion right now. So thank you in advance. So we have 333 backers, 21,789. Very, very good. I would love to get this thing up, because all the money that we get for this book is going to go into Black and White Volume 2, which is the follow-up to this book, which will be coming out, I say hopefully, the end of the summer, early September. So we're going to see how that goes, but that's the plan at this point in time. So we want to be done with this, but also the more money we can make. I'm not a money person per se. I mean, money helps, but it'll give me more time to get that next campaign together and to spend time developing volume 2. The script or the plot is pretty much already blocked out. We're going to get into literal like dialogue and breakdowns of the pages soon with my writing partner. Actually, tomorrow I got a powwow with him. And so then I'm going to start doing layouts and get this book, get volume 2 in a good shape before the campaign even launches. So one of the things I wanted to do with volume 2 is have a new piece of artwork that would define this campaign. And this is it, man. This is the Total Bot Annihilation artwork that we're going to use as the poster, as the trading cards, and as a 3x3 sticker, which is at the manufacturer right now. Yesterday, we ironed out the details with the printer, the sticker people, I guess. I don't know the actual term, the sticker makers. And so every one of these tiers will come with that artwork in the form of a trading card, a 25-year commemorative trading card. And that's at the printers as well. So as soon as we get that back, we can start fulfilling some of these orders. So I do have some sad news, you guys. The original variant Greg Capullo cover is sold out. So there are no more with this campaign. I have 20 left, but I'm trying to figure out if I should keep them. I know I should keep, some handy just in case something's damaged in the mail so I can get those out to you. So I'm not really sure if I should make any more available with this campaign, just because I want to make sure if something's damaged that I can replace it. That does happen every once in a while, even though we do pack these things very, very well in Gemini mailers, and we do put plastic. They are in the what are those called? The little sheets, the comic book sheets. So then what we did, so that you guys can still have access to the Grey Capullo variant, is this Virgin cover. So this is new and unique to this campaign. So this is the new Grey Capullo variant Virgin cover. So no text, no pesky, publishing info, nothing like that. So you'll get this thing in all of its glory. So we do have a tier for that. It is also an add-on. So if you want to see what the book looks like internally, the interior story pages, here's 4 examples of them. I think the book came out really good. It looks killer, you guys. And it's printed. It looks amazing. So this is a 54-page graphic novel. It's 56 with all we have like a little tagline at the beginning, and then the credits page, and then there's a back thank you page. So it's really 56 pages total, but 54 story pages. And this is also like the Chrono book. This is square bound graphic novel format. So it's all upgraded. The paper, the cover stock, everything. It's a pretty book, you guys. It's a pretty book. So here's that Kyle Ritter color version where we use kind of the Frank Frazetta artwork as a base. So this is in form of a tier as well. And then we have all the original stretch goal goodies, you guys. So we have the trading card, we have the 3-button set, we have the 2 embroidered patches, we have the mini print, we have the bookmark, double-sided, one side black, one side white, and then we have the new edition, which is the 3x3 Total Bot Annihilation artwork sticker. So that is in there. So you can see on the side here, the Grey Capullo variant sold out. And then the other place that we had it available was in the original 3 comics plus poster tier. And then in the early bird Killer Bot tier, which sold out. And then the Killer Bot tier, which sold out as well. So we also sold out of the cover. So yeah, the stuff is really doing well. I'm thinking of trying to come up with some new tiers for your dining and dancing, since the Killer Bot tier has been sold out. So we also have some of the original 1994 story pages here, 11x17 Bristol board on image paper. And so then we have the black and white volume 1 drawing, and we have this as an add-on as well. So you can get it with a book here, or you can get that as an add-on. The Grey Capullo variant, like I said, is an add-on, and all the stretch goal goodies are add-ons. I had to take a swig. I'm getting a little dry here. I'm talking a lot. I'm getting dried out. I'm old. I'm getting dried out. Oh, cool. We got a backer. We got a backer. So we're at 334. Thank you so much. And what are we now? We're under, what is that? Like 170? Is that right? 170 away from 22K. So this is doable for the day's end, you guys. So if you haven't backed, please do so. Please, like I said, guerrilla marketing, get the word out. See if we can get some people in here to get this thing into to the 22K shape by the end of the day. That would be amazing. We have, oh, it just flipped over. We have 16 days left. We had 17, so it just flipped over. So very good, you guys. And thanks again for backing and supporting all the things that we do here at Hack Shack Studios, the Chrono Mechanics, Black and White, and I hope to put out a bunch of new stuff very, very, very soon. So definitely the next book is volume 2 of Black and White. So like I said, these books are printed. They're done. This one, the proof is done. We're still waiting to get back the second proof. And then once we do, you guys are going to start getting some books. And when you get the books, please, please take pictures with them and send them to me, because I love posting them up. And also, it's a great form of advertising. People see happy people with books. I hope you're going to be happy with the book. I think you will. Yeah, and then it feeds on itself. So Gorilla, was that from Tarzan? But I don't know what that's from. Sounds like Tarzan. All right, let's see what I borrow ideas. Glad I got my Capullo cover. Oh, you got the original art. those really sold out quickly. Yeah, and also one of you guys sent me an article, and it was talking about Greg Capullo covers, and they said possibly the most rare cover of all time is the Greg Capullo, not of all time, but Greg Capullo artwork is that cover. So I don't know if that does anything to collectability. I don't really know or understand that stuff, but that article made it sound like it does. So Hyper Kaiju, I wish I could still get a Greg Capullo logo cover. I don't know. I mean, we may be bringing those in, but if we do, it may be like 5 books, and we'll do that towards the end of the campaign. Either that, or we're going to save those books till volume 2, because, like I said, it's only 20 books, and if something gets damaged, I want to make sure that I can be good for that. Tarzan Disney, yeah, Gorilla. Todd's Truth says, I got mine. Let's see what Spirits Car says. Send some of those Chrono Mechanics posters to Narwhal to help him get laid and for free advertising. Oh, yeah, because that wall looked pretty bad like last night on the stream, right? People were commenting. It does look like a little old lady's house, though. Is he staying there? Is Narwhal living there? He might be. That's not good. That's not good, man. You fall back on. Do you think he's waiting for her to pass away so he can inherit the money? Maybe. That was not nice. I take that back. That was a mean thing to say. Wait. I think he likes Zeppelin. Heck, he knows Coheed and Cambria. I actually like those guys. I like the music. That guy's voice is a little. It can be annoying. I have to be in the mood, but yeah, it is kind of Zeppelin-esque. I can't listen to what are those kids? They're like these young Zeppelin, and everybody's like, "Oh, they're the second coming." What is that band's name? I can't really stand them. I think it's annoying. I think Robert Plant, when he sings at high register, it's okay. But the thing about Robert Plant is he doesn't always sing like that. Like he sings in the lower registers too. But like Coheed, that stuff's almost always up in that register. And so is that band. I can't think of the name. Maybe somebody in the chat can think. Wolf's Mother. That's I kind of like them more, but it's that newer band. They're just kids. I like some of the Wolf's Mother stuff. Oh, that is it. Greta Van Fleet is kind of overrated. I think they're way overrated. I think, and I'm sorry. There's cool pretentious, and there's just pretentious. And I'm sorry. Linkovich said that early on. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah, my eyes not going in the chat the way it should. Yeah, so I think they're pretentious too, which I can't. There's certain bands like. What is it? Oh my gosh, they sing like "This Goes Out to the One I Love." They're kind of like sappy. It's very, very pretentious. I can't. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm blanking on names right now. But that band is very pretentious. Holy shit! They had an album called Green or something like that. I can remember the album name, but I can't think of the band name. And then it's like Shiny Happy People. They sing that song. Man, I can't stand that band. I think I'd like him better if that guy wasn't pretentious. That guy is really pretentious. He's on the douchebag level. That's it. Thank you. You know what? Also, I have to say, you guys in the chat, I don't see what you guys are writing right away, so I have to kind of stall for time because there's a slight delay here. So once again, Linkovich ahead, and me not clicking on it. Yeah, it just jumped again. It's really weird the way it works. This StreamYard. All right, so you guys. Okay, what is this? Oh God, fuck yeah. Do you really feel that way? Because I feel like I got a kindred spirit here, man. Because I had some friends that were really, really into REM, and I bought a few of their albums, and I was like, it's quirky, it's fun. But I thought they were quirky and fun. You know, it's like Talking Heads. Like, I can enjoy the Talking Heads as long as I know they're not freaking pretentious. But that guy, that lead guy, whatever his name is, I'm bringing a bunch of names that I can't, or people I can't think of the names. But that guy is like a douchebag. He's a pretentious douchebag. And so is, like, I don't know about all that REM band, but the one that singer guy is. And when I heard interviews by him, I didn't like the music anymore. Like, sometimes I want to know less. Like, I want to know less about my actors, and I want to know less about my singers, because sometimes it doesn't endear me to them. It's like it makes me hate them. Oh man, I'm talking about all this hate stuff. Yeah. What's his name? Michael Stipe or something, right? That's the guy. Oh man, perfect timing. It just showed up. Yeah, and the other guy is like, same as it ever was. I was like, that guy's fun. Like, I wanted, like when I see people like that, I think that guy is just quirky fun. Like, I'd love to hang out with him. And then you hear interviews, and he's just like, he talks about the music so seriously, and it's like the integrity of Talking Heads, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, this is not changing the world. This is quirky, fun music. It's not that serious. But then on the other hand, I believe like Devo, like those guys get it. Like, they're just nutty dudes. Like, they're just fun guys. And I like those guys from Flaming Lips too. That guy has the potential. That lead singer has the potential to be a little pretentious, but he's just a nut. So I can forgive him. And then the other band is Cake. I think that Cake stuff is genius. And I don't know anything about that singer. I don't know anything about that band, but I'm deliberately being ignorant because I don't want to read any interviews with that guy. I don't want to know what those guys political, their social. I don't want to know what their beliefs are. I don't want to know anything about them, because that is a band like Cake. I adore those guys. I think they're amazing. I love that music. I think it's funny. I think it's quirky, and it's kind of like they get it. Like, that singer is it's just quirky and weird. I like the subject matter. It's just fun stuff. So if I'm ever kind of like in a down mood, I'll just turn that stuff on and I'll just smile. Primus, that, and you know what else Primus has? They have energy. Like, they take that, like, there is pretension too. There's like for me, Rush is pretentious, right? That's pretentious music. But like, Primus took that kind of musicianship and they almost like do evil with it. Like, those guys are on like a level of musicianship that not very many bands are, right? But they use their power for evil. And I like bands like that too. Like these guys could do anything with their musical ability, but they choose to abuse it. And there's something about, like, there's artists that are like that, and they're like Watterson, Bill Watterson. Like, to me, like Calvin Hobbes, like that guy, it's brilliant. But you know that guy could do like major artwork, right? Like, he could do like pretentious stuff, but instead, like, he just chooses to use his power and ability just for fun stuff. Just this fun little kid that does these nutty things. And I like talent like that don't take themselves too seriously and that just have fun with it. But there is something about like virtuosos, like guys that are just so talented and just do dumb stuff with their talent. I love that. Cake is fun stuff. Yeah, I agree. And Primus, those guys, they did that South Park song, which is freaking nuts. That South Park soundtrack that came out probably 15 years ago or whatever it is. That's a really good album. I love that stuff. It's just a lot of fun. Let's see. I recorded in a studio that has their platinum record on the wall. Cool. Do you have music? Send it to me. I'd love to hear. I love to hear new music. Let me see what else. I'm going to have to start winding down. Okay. Oh, I like Richard Friend. Like he and I talked about doing some what do they call those? Like panels, but they're like workshops. And we were gonna go to all these different conventions, and we're gonna do workshops, and then everybody in the different towns, like he and I would be the core two guys, and we go to all these different towns and cities, and then whoever's local, like inkers in that town that were invited to the con, we would have them come on, and then we would do like these workshops, and we would charge a bunch of money for these workshops, but we do these workshops, and also we would work with what are they called? The Inkwell. So these guys actually are pretty cool. Bob Almond, and they run the Inkwells. It's awards just for comic book artists. So I got a couple of these around, and we were going to do it in conjunction with them. So and then it would wrap up in Charlotte. I think Charlotte is where they do the Inkwell Awards. So I think Kevin Nolan gave me one, and I think Tim Townsend did as well. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty flattering. So Richard Friend is a metal musician and singer. There has to be a comic artist pro karaoke someday. Yeah, I think there's some talk about doing something like that at the Comicsgate convention. So that could be cool. REM was a toilet fire from the jump. Yeah. I don't know. My friend was really like, these guys are amazing. So sometimes, like you have friends that have a ton of enthusiasm, and their enthusiasm is like infectious. And so then you start going, yeah, I'm going to check them out. So you do. And then you're just like, over time, when that newness wears out, then you're like, Michael Stipe. Yeah, he needs to sit and spin. He's a little full of himself for a guy that just writes okay pop songs. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing to write home about. Replicant. I know Rich plays guitar. I didn't know he sings. I'm a metal singer. Wah! Yeah. I think it would be great. I tried to record myself on the drums, but with the microphones and stuff, it's too loud. It distorts the microphone. So someday I'll try to figure out how to do it, and I'll play the drums for you guys. But I don't want to just do it where it just sounds annoying. It might be annoying regardless, but at least I'll put my best foot forward. Spirits Car says, I can imagine the first time you saw Bono in an interview. Holy crap, man. It was like, what was it? The US Festival or whatever, where he had the white flag and then he carries it up and he puts that in the rigging. And I was like, man, this guy's kind of edgy. And it seemed like it was more like it was his neck of the woods. It was Ireland or wherever it is. And he was mostly politically talking about, the country that he lives in. So I was like, okay, I could go along with this as like angry Irishmen, or what are they, Irish or Scott? I think they're Irish. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what the hell they are, but excuse me. But anyway, I thought it was interesting because of their social and political climate. And at first I thought he was like this edgy guy it was kind of cool, but then it didn't stop there. It just kept going bigger, and then, started getting into like US politics and stuff like that. And I don't know, it just got too much. He's got too blowhardy and full of himself. Yeah, I think that pop singers and actors and sports guys, they should just stop. Talking Heads was odd and quirky. Yeah, I liked it at first, but then that guy was just uber douche. Uber douche. Let's see what Arthur Brown says. The Uncanny Kodiak. Yes, Stipe was SJW pretension before SJWs was an epidemic. Yeah, he might be the godfather. He may be the godfather of SJW pretension. Pretension. I know about a sing-along of Doom. I never managed to catch it live though. Sing-along of Doom. What is that? I don't know what that is. Wait, Linkovich, is Wayne Coyle the artwork or the artist that you're talking about? The musician? Who's Wayne Coyle or Cole? I don't know who Wayne Cole is. You got some chops. I don't know who you're talking about, but I do have some chops. I do, if I'm going to play in front of you guys, though, I do have to do some rehearsing because I have my go-tos. And if what I want to do at the Comicsgate Con is I want to find one song, like a pop song, and then do like just a bunch of versions of that pop song. So we could have a rap version. We could have like a metal version. We could have just a straight up like, hard 70s rock version, pop, rap, soul, gospel, country version. But there's a lot of different lot of different guys in Comicsgate that have different musical abilities and talents. I think it would be fun to do something like that, but just one song, but a song that everybody knows, like a pop song that everybody knows, and something really stupid, just like how Cake would cover all these different songs. What is that? Don't Take Your Gun to Town or whatever. What is that song? Don't Turn Around, like the Cake song. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm horrible with names. Let's see. I'm gonna start. Mother's Bomb is also. I had a crash pad in Huntington Beach. There's a lot of musician friends and just people that would come and go. We had Tommy Lee that did our outgoing message for our answering machine. This is Tommy Lee. Art Dan can't get on the phone right now, but leave a name, name and number at the beep, whatever. What or rock or whatever he says at the end. So I had a lot of friends, like mutual friends and stuff that know these guys. And so one of the it was like a flop house. So there's just talent coming and going. And we call it Apartment 3. And so one of the guys, he's a great musician, wrote songs and stuff, but he didn't kind of make it, just kind of missed making it. So he works in the studio now. So he's an engineer, and he is like Mark Mothersbaum. Like he works with him exclusively. So he engineers all of the music and does all the studio work for Mark Mothersbaum. And that guy is. I sort of hesitate, but say that he's brilliant. He's really good. He's really brilliant. I mean, stuff that I've heard that no one, like just what my friend has played me, is pretty amazing. And I don't think that guy's too hung up on himself. I think he's a fun guy. Damn those blue collar tweakers. I don't know what that is in relationship to, but it's pretty funny. We could do a punk version too. I know it's intolerable. Almost every good punk band is intolerable to follow on social media, sadly. Just to follow. Some of that music, I find it very, very repetitious. But I do like the energy, and I do like the ripple effects that punk had on rock and roll and metal, because I do think it was kind of a wake-up call. Some of that faster stuff, and just that intensity. Death Metal says Korn totally swiped the bass line for their first album from Primus song. Yeah, I mean, if it's good, why not, right? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's it. Ruby. Yeah, don't go to town or something like that. Like he just got back from the war. It's a sad song, man. He just got back from the war, and it sounds like he's got a death sentence. So he's just doing time. But Ruby can't wait, man. She needs a man. She needs some loving. So she cheats on this guy right in front of him, like she's going to go to town. And so then he's pleading with her, and then he's kind of like, I think at one point he just kind of like, he's thinking he's going to kill her, right? Don't do it, don't take your loving to town or something like that. It's, the song is great, but the Cake cover is amazing. And also, don't they do what is that song? Is it Iron Man or Cake covers a Black Sabbath song too? Is it Witches at Black Masses? Oh yeah, do. It's awesome, man. There's a Cake album. It's just cover songs and like alternate versions of their own songs. It is brilliant. Everything they do is amazing. My Way or the Highway by Limp Bizkit is as good as Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. If you're not pulling my leg, I will say that Limp Bizkit is a major guilty pleasure. I forget that guitar player's name, but he's brilliant. He put out some really quirky, weird shit too. The guy that wears the alien makeup and stuff. He's kind of like the Ace Frehley of Limp Bizkit. He's like some kind of spaceman. But I like those guys, and they didn't seem to take things too seriously as well. Yeah, he did the Rugrats thing. He also did, what was it? Rocket Power. I think that Rocket Power that was also on Nickelodeon. Todd's Truth. Is the Comicsgate Con in Orlando going to be part of No way. There's no way, man. I think everything we do moving forward is going to be slightly disconnected from the mainstream. We do welcome the mainstream. Come one, come all. But I don't think the mainstream is going to embrace us. But I do believe it's going to be in Orlando, though. I think maybe they were saying that it would be after that show. I don't remember, but there was something that was connected to that convention. Oh, there it is. Well, there's War Pigs. Hold on, the chat just jumped. Yeah, Kate covered War Pigs. Linkovich once again for the save. War Pigs, and oh, there it is. Wes Borland. Yeah, that dude's a weirdo, but I thought he was freaking brilliant. And you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize because I don't really know history that well, like metal and stuff. I kind of have a pretty good idea, but I just want to kind of preface it. But the sound that Wes Borland got out of that guitar was so freaking massive. It was so big. I think it's underrated, to be honest. I just think the sound, and he was perfect. He was like a hybrid of the old and new. Like the guy could shred, but he also like was more like the contemporary, just kind of coming up with good licks and stuff, and messing with the format and the structure of songs. But man, that sound. Also, the drum sound on those albums was just amazing. Like I like the first drum sounds and bass sounds on oh my gosh, not Audio Slave, freaking band before that. Audio Slave I didn't really care for. Rage Against the Machine. Yeah, Rage Against the Machine, I thought that they had some pretty killer sound too. Like just big sound. Oh yeah, I knew it was Wes Borland. Thanks. All right. I'm caught up. Oh, did he? Was it like a 4-string guitar detuned and some stuff? Like, yeah, that guy was like just weird, but I thought the sound was really, really cool. And to be honest, at the time, I didn't really know I didn't hear anybody that sounded like that. So that's why I give him a lot of credit. I mean, I might be wrong, but I think he was one of the first guys that was really, really bringing that huge ass sound. Like like in my day, there was Eddie Van Halen, and then there was even that band Boston that was really poppy, but that guitar sound was really big. Like it was huge. Like you'd never heard anything like that before. So, like Wes Borland was that for me in the later years. Art is spitting straight facts over here. Hallelujah, brother. You can tell I am really passionate about like heavy music. Soundgarden. I like the early Soundgarden stuff, but what was it? Chris Cornell? I think Chris blew out his vocals, man. I think like early on, he just blew out his pipes. Like I always like Chris Cornell was the contemporary version of Sammy Hagar. But I'll tell you one thing: Sammy Hagar consistently had a better voice, I think, than Chris Cornell. I think it sounded like Chris Cornell was really struggling towards the later part of even of Soundgarden, and definitely Audioslave. It was very nasally, and it sounded kind of labored to me. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I used to like Ibanez. Does anybody play Ibanez anymore? 7 strings, 8 strings. Actually, what was like the first person I ever heard that played like, was it 12-string bass was Peterson. What's his name from Cheap Trick? That bass player. That was some big freaking bass sounds for the time. That was some crazy, crazy bass. Dude, I'm not even gonna go there. I railed against that, man. I had a girlfriend that loved that guy, and the more she talked about him, the more I hated him. Yeah, Korn took Steve Vai's 7-string, was it Gem guitars, and detuned them down to A. Everyone tried to copy that. Korn had a big sound too. The drums, I don't know. I didn't really care for the drum sound, to be honest. Wow, you guys know a lot about music, probably more than I do. Oh, John Paul Jones played one. That's awesome. Yeah, he's underrated too. I think because I mean just the shadow that he's under with John Bonham and whatever the other two guys' name. I should stop while I'm ahead here. But yeah, those guys. Oh, come on. Now you guys are heckling me. You saw the goat, and now you know where it's hidden, and now you're going to just rib me to death. Do you feel like I do? F you, we do. I don't know, man. It was a little soft. You know what? There's a band called Humble Pie that supposedly Peter Frampton played in. I saw Humble Pie. Those guys were rude ass, dirty rock dudes, and I can't see that guy playing in that band. But supposedly he did, so I don't know. And I'm going to have to talk to you about this, Joe, because I'm not down with this. I'm going to have to hip you to good music. All right, you guys. Well, it's 2:00 my time. I am going to go get some food. I think my wife made some tuna. So I'm going to have some tuna sandwiches on sourdough. She bought some sourdough too. Killer. It's going to be a good lunch. All right, man. So yeah, please, you guys, check out Chrono Mechanics. Check out Black and White. The links are in the description. Check it out. If you like what you see, please back. Oh, no. You guys are sucking me back in. All right, what does Alfred say? Albino Thunderbuns, everybody in the world has Frampton Comes Alive. If you lived in the suburbs, you were issued it. It came in the mail with samples of Tide. Yeah, but that's not an excuse. Actually, it's funny because, when you marry somebody, their record collection kind of becomes your record collection. So my wife has Frampton Comes Alive as a record, and she swears it was a gift from somebody. So I believe her. She's got good taste in music. So she might have played it once just to make them feel good. But I got a feeling that version downstairs is probably in perfect shape, because it probably only felt the needle once. Frampton, if he wasn't good looking in the day, the guy looks ghoulish now. He looks weird now, like he's all bald headed and stuff. But in the day, like, you know, good looking, reasonably talented, girls dug that stuff, man. They dug it. Frampton has a song called "I'm in You." No. Replicant says John Paul Jones has some wicked bass lines. Oh yeah. What is that? Like that double picking, like that bass kind of metal bass line that even like I think like what is it? Iron Maiden and stuff, like all those metal songs that what is that song called? The dun 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 dun. Whoa, 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 whoa. I remember songs. I just don't remember the names of them. I remember drum lines. Mostly. Okay, and Dino is here, so now I can leave. Take that. Achilles' Last Stand. Yes. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go all day. I'm not going to stop this because I'm having a ball just talking about this shit. Yeah, I love music. I love it. Love. The Crooked Virtues is too damn. Them. What is this? Them Crooked Vultures. Is that Vultures or Vultures? Is great. Too damn. What is the Vultures? Is it a band? I don't know what the Vultures is. Sorry about that. I do need my afternoon nap, but I'm thinking that maybe if I have that tuna, that'll revive me. It'll bring me back to life. Oh my gosh, you guys are just, what is this, Frampton? I kind of lost interest, burned out of Frampton after listening to his songs so many times at work. Yeah. Run for the Hills, yeah. Run to the hills. Run for your life. Yeah, it's like that bass. It's a mainstay now. Thank you, John Paul Jones, for giving us that little gift, that little nugget. I look at comics the same way, you guys. Like there's people, like I can look back and I go, that guy contributed this, that guy contributed this. So all the greatness that came afterwards was based on, you know, that person's success. So always respect. Yeah, listen to Andrew. Yeah, he'll set you straight. You guys aren't gonna let me go with all this this Frampton talk. That's easy to do, honestly. To appreciate Frampton, you need to not listen to them very often. That's very good. Very, very true. All right, you guys. Oh, that Barracuda has that same. Yeah, that they'll definitely say that they're like the female Zeppelin. Yeah, so the early hard stuff was definitely taking, you know, all that stuff in consideration. Also, whoever that drummer was in that first Heart band was freaking brilliant, man. He was from that Bonham school of drumming, and I dug it. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna go get my tuna sandwich. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's been a blast, and take care. Enjoy. Be good to each other.